In this video, you will learn how to differentiate between nominative and objective case pronouns. Nominative case pronouns are those that take the subject form. In other words, they function as subjects or subject complements, predicate nominatives or predicate pronouns, technically, in a sentence. Here are the nominative case pronouns. They take both singular and plural forms, and they have first, second, and third person forms. First person singular is I, first person plural is we, second person singular and plural is you, third person singular he, she, it, and third person plural is they. Here are some examples of nominative case pronouns functioning as the subject taking the first person form. I like to sleep late on the weekends. I is the correct pronoun to use here because it's functioning as the subject of the sentence. We gave our son Tylenol for his fever. We is the correct nominative case pronoun here because again it's functioning as the subject of the sentence. It's a little bit trickier when we have our pronouns functioning as subject complements, only because it's much more difficult to hear what the correct form is. That's why it's important to understand the grammar of the sentence to know what the correct form to use would be. So here's an example of a sentence. It was I who found the puppy. It may sound kind of strange to us to say I, but I is the correct form here. It takes the nominative case because I have a linking verb. That means I is functioning as a predicate nominative. See, predicate nominative, nominative case. If it's functioning as a predicate nominative, then it needs to take the nominative case. In the second example, the best musicians here are we. The same thing. Are is a linking verb. We follows the linking verb, meaning that it's functioning as a predicate nominative that renames musicians, so I have to use the nominative case form. Second person, functioning as the singular subject, you will select the music for the party. Plural, will you please sit down so we can begin the lesson? As a subject complement, it was you on the phone. That doesn't sound too strange. You is one of those words that's pretty easy because we always use it. It's basically you is the form that it takes regardless. So it's not too hard to figure that one out. The best students I've ever had are you. Again, in both of these second examples, I have the linking verb was, so I use you, and the linking verb are, so you is the predicate nominative, but this is pretty easy because the object case and the nominative case for the second person are the exact same ones. Third person, when it's functioning as the subject, he finished the test 20 minutes early. They and their parents went on a cruise. As the subject complement, we have it was he at the door. And I know it sounds weird that you want to say it was him at the door, but technically, if we're adhering to the traditional grammar rule, because I have a linking verb, he is functioning as a predicate nominative. It's the predicate nominative, it needs to take the nominative case. Same thing happens in this sentence. Good friends are they. I know it's rare that we would say something like that. Probably would just say they are good friends. But know that you may run into sentences on an assessment that are written in this way because it's testing whether or not you really know the grammar. They needs to take the nominative case form because it is following a linking verb. Objective case pronouns are those that take the object form. That means they function as direct objects, indirect objects, or objects of a preposition. Here are your objective case pronouns. Singular first person me, First person plural, us. Second person is you for both singular and plural. Again, you is easy because the nominative form and the objective form both take you. Third person singular, him, her, it, and third person plural is them. Our examples using first person. My mom made me a chocolate cake for my birthday. Me is the correct form of the pronoun because it is functioning as an indirect object. Grandma sent a Valentine's Day package to us. I would use the objective case us here because it's functioning as the object of a preposition. Second person examples. Sherry gave the book to you when she finished reading it. You is the object of the preposition. The guidance counselor will give you some advice about choosing a college. You is the indirect object in this sentence. Our third person examples. The class elected her to be the new secretary. Her is functioning as the direct object. The argument is between them. Them is the correct form of the pronoun because it is functioning as the object of a preposition. Now would be a good time to pause the video so that you can complete this practice. For this exercise, you are choosing the correct form of the pronoun in parentheses. After you've completed each of the practice sentences, restart the video and I will be going over the answers. Number 1, the Japanese restaurant's new sushi chef is he or him. With objective versus nominative case, it is not a good idea to use your ear to listen when you have a linking verb, which is what we have here. The Japanese restaurant's new sushi chef is blank. What you want to do here is figure out what part of the sentence the word needs to complete. Since it's coming after the linking verb is, I need a predicate nominative, which means he is the correct answer. Number 2, Mr. Gleason gave Kim and blank extra help on our geometry homework. So again, if I look at what part of a sentence I need to find here, I first find the verb gave. It's an action verb. What does Mr. Gleason give? He gives extra help. To whom? Kim and me. Because me is the indirect object in the sentence. A good little trick to use with sentences like this, when you have a compound element, cover up the beginning of the compound. Mr. Gleason gave blank extra help. Would you say Mr. Gleason gave I extra help, or Mr. Gleason gave me extra help? Here it's easy to hear that me would again be the correct answer. Number 3, without you and blank, the outing was boring. What part of the sentence do I need? Without is a preposition. So I need the object of a preposition, which means I need the object form her. In this sentence, we can actually do what we did in number 2, get rid of the compound element. Without her, the outing was boring. It's much easier to hear it once you eliminate the compound. Number 4, he or him told I or me about his dreams for the future. My verb is an action verb told. In the first blank, I need to find the subject form because it's the subject of the sentence. Who's doing the telling? He told. Now, what did he tell? He told me. I'm looking for a direct object, so I need to use the object form. And number 5, when I outgrow clothing, I give it to Laura or blank. Here, I need to figure out, again, what form, what part of the sentence I'm looking at. I have the preposition to, therefore I need the object of the preposition to be what I'm filling in here, which means I need the object form her. Just like we did in number 2 and 3, I can cross out the compound part to make sure this is the correct version. I give it to her. which we can again hear much more easily that her is the correct form as opposed to she.